So the question is really around, how do I staff the business first? Before you opened your business, you sat down on your computer, you didn't have Tom, you didn't have Susie, they didn't need hours, they didn't have families. Literally, they were nothing more than numbers on a sheet of paper. And that's how you started your whole model, is you wrote what I call a blind staffing grid, where you laid out each day of the week by the hour, by position, and you said, I'm going to open at 11:30. I need a bartender at 11. I need a busser at 11. I need a server at 11. Whatever those different pieces are that you need to run a Monday lunch. And you moved throughout the day and you staffed an hour here and an hour there and a half hour here and a half hour there. And you built up this blind staffing grid that allowed you to apply the rates that you're going to pay and figure out how much your labor is going to cost. Then you went back and you looked at your sales forecast that you started with to figure out what your business was going to do in order for you to produce what your labor was going to be. And now we can apply different metrics to that as well. So not just labor percentages, because those don't work. That's kind of dead. It gives us some frame of reference, but they're not precise the way they used to, especially with how people are changing to commissions and revenue sharing and different models around tipping. Some of those numbers don't mean the same as they used to. So we have to start with a blind staffing grid that lays out your week, lay it out in $1,000 to $10,000 increments based on how big you think the restaurant is. If you're going to have a $5 million restaurant, 10,000 increments are fine. If you're going to have a $500,000 restaurant, $1,000 to $5,000 increments are fine. But you have to build a skeleton schedule that says, here's the least I can do on the lowest volume. Even if I made $10 that day in sales, I have to have a server, I have to have a cook, I have to have a dishwasher, I have to have a front desk. Whatever those things that you have to have are, you have to schedule those in as a skeleton. And then from there, what's the next sales bump? Kitchen is stair-stepped. It goes up. Front of the house is more linear. So you have to add bodies for the kitchen. In the front of the house, you can be a little more linear to staffing. So that allows you to cut your front of the house labor a little sharper than you can the back of the house. But you have to be really well planned out in the back of the house to make sure you get your prep done, your dishes done, get the food out hot and tasty, and make sure you're producing quality product, both there and in the bar. Similar situation in the bar. We want great tasty drinks by well-trained bartenders. So staffing with a blind staffing grid gives us the ability to lay out the business we want it to lay out.